Let's get back to stocks and talk about the retailers, one that's falling over 6% today. That's video game retailer GameStop, which cut its forecast for the full year. What does this tell us about the likes of Take-Two and Electronic Arts, the companies actually making the video games? For that side of the story, let's bring in Bloomberg Czar Burton. Czar, what's going on?
And Mark, I have to ask, do you shop at GameStop with your son?
No, I do not.
You don't play video games?
He does, but I don't.
You're too mature for that, right?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Anyway, the reason we're talking about GameStop is that accounts for about a quarter of all video games sold in the U.S. They're sold through GameStop. So profits still growing at this business, but guess what? Starting to slow down. So in May, they were talking about $2.93 a share, or about 22% growth. They're now seeing a maximum of $2.64. So definitely not moving in the right direction. And that's actually trailing estimates as well among the analysts on Wall Street. Comp store sales, they're going to be as low as 8% for the full year. Now, this is going on because of what's going on with the recession, because of what's going on with Mark as well. Also, slippage of new games, Bioshock 2, StarCraft 2, and Splinter Cell Conviction. Their words. Now, sales declined in all categories, including the consoles. We're talking about the Nintendo Wii, other areas as well, the Xbox, the PlayStation, and new video games. Now, the only division that saw an increase, this is really a sign of the times, Mark, used video game products. So that's actually seeing increases there. Now, stock, if you look at that stock, Mark had mentioned earlier, off about 7% right now. Pairing some of the losses, it was as low as 8.6%. And this is the biggest drop that we've seen in about 6 weeks.
So how are those video game makers and console makers doing in trading today?
Actually, when I last checked, they were actually all higher. Not sure this has anything to do with some of the top-selling titles that GameStop released today. They include THQ's UFC 2009 Undisputed, Activision's Prototype, EA's 2 titles, Fight Night Round 4 and NCAA Football 2010. Actually, I'm seeing losses there for some of the console makers. We're talking about Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. These console sales also weak in the quarter. They're talking about price cuts for Sony. Remember, they came out this week and said that they're cutting the price of the PlayStation 3 by about 25% to $299. Research group NPD had said that historically, if you see these kinds of reductions, they usually boost sales by about 40 to 60% on a month-over-month basis. Now, I want to talk about this interview that Bloomberg News did with the CEO of GameStop, and he was saying that that is still expensive, even though Sony cut the price. He's saying in this economy, $299, that's still considered a big-ticket item. He also says Nintendo also going to have to cut the price of the Wii. It now costs about $250. He says it's got to come down for sales to increase.
Bloomberg Czar Burton joining us. Czar, thank you very much.